So you were talking about dancing and having fun and all that, but before that, you were talking about Clover and some other things. But what I'm most interested about with you is that you've worked with some really heavy hitter comedians.
Yes.
Martin, you were on Everybody Hates Chris, which was produced by Chris Rock. You've worked with Mike Epps, and now you're working with Cedric the Entertainer. What is it about you, do you think, that makes these men, being these really strong comedic actors, make them want to work with you? Because there has to be something. It happens quite often.
Well, it's really simple, Carla. I know how to play my position. Play your position. If I am number 4 on that call sheet, I'm number 4 on the call sheet. If I'm number 2 on the call sheet, I'm number 2. But when I'm number 1, or if I'm number 4 on the call sheet, I gotta recognize that there's a number 1 on the call sheet. And I am there. My job as number 4 on the call sheet is to make sure that number 1 fulfills his duties or her duties. I'm there to enhance what her or his duties are. I am there to enhance the show as a whole. I am there to hold the show up. I am there to be a pillar. I am there to be a constant. I'm there to be relied upon. I take my roles very seriously. And I think it comes from being a little kid, from being in show business. It comes from my mom and just people that I grew up with who helped me in the industry would say, look, you could have 2 lines. It doesn't matter how many lines you have. Don't count your lines. It's not, what are you doing with those lines? So I've always been that type. Like, I don't care. I could be in a cast of 100 people. I'm going to make sure I shine the best way I can, but I'm going to make sure I don't outshine whoever is number 1. That is your job. Your job as an actor, as an actress. You're not always in the spotlight. Everybody can't be Diana Ross. You got to be a support. You got to be background.
You got to be Mary Flo.
Come on now.
What's your dream role, Tichina? What is your dream role?
Whoa, good question, Carla. You always ask good questions. You know, I have to say this. I don't have a dream role, only because I don't ever want to jinx myself. I never want something so bad and never get it, because then I'll be pissed off and I'll be a bitter actress. So, like, I have dream roles that I would like to have an opportunity to be, like Clover. Clover was kind of touching upon a little dream role that I want to be a badass. I want to be a modern day superhero, which we all are, you know, in our own little way. So I always wanted to play something, you know, powerful and somebody that, you know, can make things happen and make change, you know. That's kind of my dream role, if to, you know, to answer your question as best as I can.
Yeah, thank you, Mama.
This is Rhonda Penrice, piggybacking on what Carla just said. Do you feel like underrated as a comedic actress at times? I mean, we love you, but I don't think that you get enough. I don't think you get enough praise and credit for your talents.
Yeah, I think I've had moments, and I haven't had these moments in a long time. Coming up, like before, when I would say after Martin, I did a few episodes. I did the Jamie Foxx show. I just did a few appearances on other shows. That was during a time where I was just kind of like, what the hell, man? Like, y'all know I could do these roles. Y'all know, like, but y'all don't want to hire me because they put you. I was more frustrated with being in the box of the Pam thing. Oh, you know, we love you. You're so funny, but yeah, we're gonna go in another direction. So it's like, you know, it's a gift and a curse. You know, people think you're hilarious. They love you. They think they say that you could do anything, but they never give you the opportunity to do it. So that's what I love when Viola Davis said in her acceptance speech, you know, all I need is opportunity. That's some real shit. All I need is the opportunity to do what I need to do. But in addition to that, I need good writers. We need more Black writers. We need more Black journalists. We need more people of color that are able to tell our stories, because there's been so many times, y'all, I get scripts, you reading scripts, and it's like, what is this? There's nothing written for me. So we have to go out and find it. So that's why I like call it, to go back to your dream role. My dream role, there's a lot of dream roles, really. There's a lot of there's so many things that I know that I could play. There's so many things that, characters that haven't even been discovered yet that I know I can play. But it's just opportunity. It's just opportunity. And sometimes it gets very frustrating because you have people that are in positions of power in those rooms that not all of us are in, and they're making decisions for us.
Right.
Not giving us the opportunity to be like, wait a minute, hold up, wait, we can do this. Like, let's do it. So that's why people were so, you know, like Jordan Peele, him coming out with that whole, there's so many areas of us that we still have to not even explore, that we know how to do. We just need the opportunity.
Hi, Tichina. Kathy Woods out of Philadelphia. Hi, how are you?
Hi, girl. I love your hair.
Thank you. Listen, I had to get myself together. I was like, we're gonna be on video. We can't. I was in my pajamas for the last couple of days. And I said, let me try a little from the waist up. One of the movies that I absolutely, you and I spoke about it a little bit, but
you have beautiful skin. I listen to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love your skin.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco. It is one of those movies where, like, we came out of Sundance, we all loved, I talked about it to everybody. And it has organically found its audience and it's found its people. Were you surprised by the response?
I was not surprised by the response because I was actually one of the first people who said every Black man in America needs to see this film. It's a funny story behind it. I can't tell all the story because I'll be telling too much of my business. But when my sister, Zendaya will die if I told you all. But I had to tell Joe Talbot and Jimmy Fails. I said, I didn't understand the shit when I read it. It was like I got the script and I was like, I don't get it, but I love it. So it was one of those scripts where it was so poetic that your own imagination couldn't grasp what the pages were telling you. So my sister was like, oh, you got to put yourself on tape for it. So I put myself on tape for it. And it wasn't until I was doing the movie and Joe said, hey, let's utilize walking through this field right here. So I'm about to shoot my first scene and I'm standing at the door waiting for my entry. And I'm like, oh my God, this film is beautiful. It didn't hit me until I was actually doing the film. That film, Last Black Man in San Francisco, is going to be a film that may not ever get its just dessert or its just due to it, but it will live forever. The way it was told, from the way the story even, was born and birthed. The story, I just gave a lot of respect to Jimmy and Joe for telling that story. They had to tell their own story. And I think I hadn't seen Black men in that light in a long time. Like we don't normally hear the Black man's story from that perspective. And I love the relationship between the two male characters. I just loved everything, how the movie was shot. So it wasn't until I was in the film that I was like, wow, I'm going to be a part of history. This movie is amazing. This movie is beautiful.
Right.
And to follow up, you've been acting for a long time, as you said, from your childhood into full adulthood. And, when did you realize, okay, I can make a life out of this? Because not everybody can, you know what I mean? Not everybody has been able to curb. When did you say, you know what? I can do this?
Is when I had to start paying rent. That's when life hit. Like because I started off as a kid. I used to sing for free. I started off singing in the church, and then I went from the church to singing in supper clubs, and then from singing in supper clubs, I went from singing in like small reviews. And then from reviews, I went to singing it off Broadway, and then I went to the public theater. I went from the Billie Holiday Theater to the public theater. So my life has been on like a slowly growing scale of touching upon a little bit of every area other than stand-up comedy in show business. Being a child and being in show business all your life, which I can proudly say I am a survivor of show business.
Right.
It comes from, I didn't even think about doing anything else. I've been in show business all my life. It's all I knew. And when I got older and moved out of my mother's house and moved to LA and started doing Martin, I was like, oh shit, I gotta pay rent. So it was the rent that woke my ass up. I was like, oh no, wait a minute, I gotta make a living out of this shit. So that was my wake up call, was rent.
Well, since you were talking about, I wanted to ask you a quick question. This is Sharana from Hotlanta right now, even though
Hi,
Atlanta. I wanted to ask you, are you going to have any upcoming projects that showcase your singing capabilities? Especially, I remember seeing you in Little Shop of Horrors, and I was like, I want to sing like her.
Yeah. I remember that one.
But I want to know, do you have any upcoming projects or musicals or Broadway shows or anything that you're going to be working on, or anything that you're aspired to work on in the future?
Well, musically, what I have coming up, what I hope it's not canceled, or it might be pushed back a little bit, but I've been focusing on my sister and our foundation, the We Win Foundation, which caters to people who have lupus and other autoimmune diseases. The Soho House asked me to do a night there, which was going to be coming up. But I don't know how it's gonna, if that's gonna happen or not. But I'm gonna feature my music and my daughter. My daughter sings her butt off, and she just loves singing. So I'm creating our show right now. So I'm in the midst of, because I went to see her, I went to see a few concerts, and I'm like, what concert can people go with their kids? So that's the show that I'm creating right now for others. But musically right now, nothing. No, just other than working on a new show that my daughter and I can, be showcased on. And then, just, I guess, travel to different places or go to different spots, or, maybe find some sponsors that may, help me put this visual together. But it's almost like, with me being on The Main Event, that's a movie that families can watch. You can watch with your family, especially now that we got to be at home with these goddamn kids. Jesus Christ. Locked in with these kids. So, we need more family stuff. So maybe this will be a time where new things will be birthed, which is what I pray. So now that I have the time to be home and work on my music, because music, I never gave 200% of my time, unfortunately, because it didn't pay the bills like the acting did. But my daughter, she loves music, and she's kind of forcing me to kind of go back into the music route. But I like, I love, musical theater. So I would love to do a nice musical theater piece. I do have something that I'm working on with my my cast member, what is it, co-cast member? Castmate. Fellow castmate, thank you, Beth Bears. And I don't want to say what it is, but let's just say we're singing, and it's a great song. It's a song from the past, and it's a song that will bring everybody together. And this is a vision that Zane and another executive producer on the show had, and we kind of implemented it, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. So we'll make sure that we get it to AAFCA first.
Thank you.
Nice.